It could well be. The thing is that what they have to say is very clear. I mean, there's no price. There's no price in the transaction. The transaction makes absolutely no sense. The dividends that Sabadell is going to pay are clearly higher in the foreseeable future than the ones of a merged entity would have. So why would they do it? Right now, the premium is negative. Again, why would they do it? And furthermore, the synergies probably are negative because there's too much concentration in the Spanish market. So there's a how do you say, when you do a quest and you ask customers, 46% are saying that they would move to another bank. So it's value destruction, there's no price, there's no dividends.
Because people don't tend to move banks, do they? Let's be brutally honest. I still have the same bank, and I'll say this bank did at one stage dabble in Spain. I have the same bank I've had since I was 13.
Yeah, well, I've moved around
a couple of years ago.
Can I come back to the hurdles? Because you've mentioned price, customers, but there's another hurdle here, and I wonder whether that is the economy minister. And I have spoken to him a number of times, and he seems to be somewhat against the deal as well. And this may end up at a point where he has some sort of casting vote and he gets to look at some of the remedies. Do you think there will be A, remedies, and B, do you think that the economy minister, the government, will actually vote in favour of this deal?
Well, I think it's very clear in the SEC report that they have just submitted, BBVA, that they acknowledge that there's not going to be a merger. And if there's no merger, where are the positive synergies? Where's the cost reduction? It doesn't make any sense anymore. And that is because of the social opposition. It has become political, but it's on the verge of a response from the whole market. 70 entities, the trade unions, all the associations from employers, everyone, 70 have declared themselves against this transaction. Not because they don't like BBVA. BBVA is a great bank. It's just because Sabadell is needed in Spain. So if no merger, what is the purpose?
Yeah,
it's more capital consumption. It doesn't make much sense.
It is amazing. I mean, I remember many trips to Madrid at the height of the financial crisis, and you couldn't find a bank that looked on really solid ground. Spin forward to 2025, and you know, we're talking about, dare I say it, Santander, BBVA, Sabadell, Caixa, all looking in really good fettle. What is it that the Spanish banking sector then should do next to A, maintain that position, and B, perhaps consolidate a broader European position?
Well, the broader European position is exactly what is required. You have to realize that BBVA is not a European bank. 70% of its profits come from emerging markets. Well, it's very lucky because it is perceived...
Very close relations to Spain, though, those emerging markets.
Yeah, sure. Not all, because the relationship between Mexico and Spain is the language, but don't think that there is so much trade between us. Yeah. It is between the US.
No, it's a good point. We used to think we were close to America and we speak the same language.
But you are. You are much closer from many perspectives. So, as I say, it doesn't make much sense from any perspective. And that's why I think, as I've said many times, I think this transaction is going to derail.
What then? Okay, so we can ask you about that till we're blue in the tick. Go on, you were going to say?
Yes, because you asked what should the banks do?
Yes.
And I think our roadmap is so clear. It's amazing. We have increased the price in the last 4 years, the market cap, by 10-fold. We are the number one in Europe, number one in the Spanish stock exchange. And this hasn't ended. It's a beautiful story because the transformation is becoming a virtual circle in which every time we are doing better. We are leapfrogging from a technological perspective, from a commercial perspective, and the level of engagement of our people is at 90%, which we had never seen.